Even in a golden cage, a heart can still starve. In the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, where wealth stretches as far as the coastline and poverty presses against its walls, one woman sat perched high above it all. Zara Mbatha, just 27, was already a legend. Her name rang across continents, from Forbes cover stories to TED summits, from Wall Street whispers to Silicon Valley screens. She wasn't just the daughter of Chief Dapo Mbatha, a powerful oil magnate. No, Zara was self-made. One of the first Africans to invest heavily in cryptocurrency back when most still thought it was a scam, she turned 10,000 coins into an empire. Her penthouse in Ikoyi Heights was more castle than condo. Marble floors imported from Italy, private elevators that never dinged for anyone else, and a rooftop garden that overlooked the Atlantic Ocean like a private heaven. But for all its luxury, that space had become a prison, a place where everything sparkled, except her soul. That evening, Zara stood by her 12-foot windows, barefoot on cold stone, wrapped in a silk robe that had once walked the Paris runway. Below her, the sprawling chaos of Makoko Market buzzed. A sea of vendors, buses, shouts, life. A world she'd only ever watched from behind tinted glass. She clutched a glass of wine but couldn't sip. Her phone buzzed with another invitation: dinner with a minister's son, a tech gala in Dubai, an exclusive yacht party in Seychelles. She turned it off. None of it mattered anymore. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you are watching from, and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. Back to Zara. You see, people loved Zara, or rather they loved her image. Men courted her fame. Friends adored her access. Strangers followed her photos for glimpses into a life they'd never touch. But in all that noise, no one ever asked, "Zara, are you okay?" Not once. She had been with senators, princes, CEOs, even a rising gospel star. All of them left eventually. Some wanted power. Others wanted exposure. A few just wanted to say, "I dated Zara Mbatha." None of them stayed to understand why she sometimes stared out the window for hours, or why her laugh had become so rehearsed. That night, she broke. Quietly. No sobs, just a hollow breath as she whispered to her reflection, "I need to know if love still exists, if kindness survives where money doesn't." By morning, Zara was gone. Not kidnapped, not lost. Gone by choice. She cleared her calendar, canceled every appearance, and told her assistant she was taking a spiritual retreat. She left behind her cars, her silk, her bodyguards. She took only 5,000 naira, roughly $3, and stepped into the streets wearing a torn skirt, a faded t-shirt, and a scarf over uncombed hair. No one recognized her. The guards at her compound's back gate didn't blink twice. By sunrise, she had arrived at Makoko Market, not as the tech queen of Africa, but as a nameless girl with dusty slippers and a hunger in her belly. Her eyes, once lined with designer eyeliner, were bare and raw. And for the first time in her life, no one bowed, no one smiled, no one cared. This wasn't a game. This was her test. And she was about to find out, painfully, brutally, whether the world could love someone who had nothing to give.
Sometimes to find the truth, you have to become invisible. The streets of Lagos never sleep. Even at 5:30 a.m., the city murmurs. Street sweepers brushing dust from curbs, the hum of distant okadas, the static of radios announcing another day. But inside the marble fortress of Ikoyi Heights, all was still, except for the quiet revolution happening in penthouse 3C. Zara Mbatha stood in front of her mirror, unrecognizable even to herself. The silk was gone. The lashes, the contour, the gloss, wiped away with coconut oil and tears the night before. She wore a faded wrapper as a skirt, borrowed from an old housekeeper's donation pile. A stained, oversized t-shirt clung awkwardly to her frame. Her hair, usually styled in flawless braids, now sat hidden beneath a loosely tied scarf. She looked like a woman who'd been forgotten, and that was exactly the point. From the far corner of her closet, she pulled out a duffel bag. Inside, one change of worn clothes, a plastic water bottle, a tiny notebook with no name. 5,000 naira, less than a day's meal in her real world, but meant to last 2 weeks in the one she was entering. And nothing else. No phone, no credit card, no ID. Her assistant Ngozi had called twice the night before. Zara didn't pick up. Instead, she left a single voice note at 1:42 a.m. Clear my schedule. No interviews, no calls, no press. Tell everyone I've gone for a private spiritual retreat. I'll reach out when I'm ready. No one must know where I am, not even my father. She deleted the message seconds later. Then, barefoot and breathless, she opened the back exit that led to the staff parking lot. The night guard, a man she'd paid college fees for last year, glanced at her once and looked away. He didn't recognize her. No one did. As the city stretched awake, Zara Mbatha vanished. The ride to Makoko took only 45 minutes, but emotionally it felt like she was crossing a continent. Gone were the boulevards and imported flower beds of Ikoi. The further the Danfo bus moved, the more the air thickened, not just with humidity, but with life, raw, unfiltered, untamed. By the time she stepped off near Makoko Market, the sun had risen, throwing harsh light on rusted rooftops, uneven walkways, and a jungle of stalls that sold everything from dried fish to counterfeit cell phones. Zara clutched her duffel to her chest and took her first barefoot step into the unknown. It hit her immediately. The smell, part fish, part sweat, part survival. The sounds, vendors shouting prices, children crying, radios blasting Afrobeat from dented speakers. The stares, sharp, dismissive, indifferent. No one knew her name. And that was strangely freeing. She walked aimlessly at first, trying to blend in. A woman bumped her shoulder, hard. No apology. A boy darted past, almost knocking her down. No one looked twice. She sat on a broken bench near a stall, pretending to adjust her scarf, but in truth she was catching her breath. The rules here were different. In Ikoi, people noticed her when she entered a room. In Makoko, she was just another shadow. Her stomach growled loudly. She hadn't eaten since lunch the day before, a seared tuna salad with truffle oil, now a memory so absurd it felt like a scene from someone else's movie. She approached a stall where a woman sold akara, bean cakes sizzling in black oil. "Please," Zara whispered, voice hoarse. "Can I have one? I'll work for it. Wash plates." The woman didn't even look up. "This one no get shame. Go back down the street. Don't stand here and block my bias." Zara nodded and backed away, heart thudding. Lesson 1. Hunger doesn't buy sympathy here. She wandered deeper into the market. The midday sun burned through her scarf. Her slippers, bought at a roadside stall that morning, had already started to tear. Her feet ached. Her pride, what little remained, had started to erode. Still, no one noticed her. Not the man chewing roasted corn, not the teenagers laughing on overturned crates, not even the little girl selling recharge cards who accidentally stepped on Zara's hand and didn't blink twice. By late afternoon, she found a narrow alley behind a fruit vendor's stall and sat down. Her back ached. Her hands trembled. The world spun slightly. This wasn't a test anymore. It was real. She was hungry, hot, and helpless. Just another girl lost in the machine of Lagos. And yet, something inside her began to settle. For the first time in years, she wasn't performing. Not for Instagram, not for Forbes, not for her father. She was no longer Africa's tech queen or Mbatha's genius daughter. She was Zara, tired, dusty, and trying to understand what it meant to matter without a price tag attached.
It doesn't take money to be seen. It takes worth. And in their eyes, she had none. The second morning in Makoko Market greeted Zara not with mercy, but with noise. A symphony of survival, loud and unforgiving. Vendors screamed over each other for attention. Smoke from roadside grills stung her eyes. Dunfos coughed clouds of exhaust into the sky. Children with bare feet darted between cars selling plantain chips. Everyone had somewhere to go, something to hustle, someone to chase. Zara had none of that. She'd slept behind a locked kiosk, curled on cardboard and holding her duffel like a lifeline. Mosquitoes had feasted on her ankles. Her body was stiff. Her scarf had slipped during the night, revealing her now messy curls. No mirror, no comfort, no one. But worst of all, no food. Her stomach cramped with hunger. She stood up slowly, brushing dust off her skirt, though it didn't matter. She was already invisible. She approached a fruit seller, an older woman slicing pawpaw with a dull blade. Her hands moved fast. Slice, bag, collect naira. Next. She waited for a pause, then softly asked, "Ma, please, I haven't eaten since yesterday. Could I just have a piece? Just one?" The woman didn't even look at her. "Ah, go away, I beg. You dey scare my customers. Go beg your papa." The insult hit harder than expected. Scaring customers? Had she really fallen that far in just one night? She moved away humiliated and tried again, this time with a group of mechanics laughing over plates of iba and okra soup under a shaded awning. "Please," she said, voice trembling. "I can sweep, clean, anything, just a bite." One of the men looked up with narrowed eyes. "Madame, carry your madness go front. This one where fine girls dey turn mad overnight." They laughed. Another added, "You sure say no be your dish in the do, or you want enter BBN Naija?" Laughter roared. Zara backed away, cheeks burning. She hadn't expected kindness, but the mockery cut deeper than silence. A teenager hissed at her as she passed, muttering something about jobless Ashawa. She pretended not to hear, but her heart, it heard everything. By midday, the sun became a weapon, her scarf soaked through with sweat, her slippers cracked, her lips dried, peeling. She sat in the shade of a torn umbrella stand and sipped the last of her water. Her 5,000 naira was down to just 500, and that had to last. She watched the market like a ghost, unnoticed, uninvited. A boy ran past, bumping her shoulder. A hawker spilled oil near her feet, cursed her for bringing bad luck. And then, as if to crown the misery, a young woman balancing a tray of jollof rice walked by. The aroma wrapped around Zara like a cruel embrace. Her stomach twisted. She stood, desperate. "Auntie, please, anything. Just small rice. I'll wash dishes. I'll sweep. I'll—" She spun around, eyes full of fire. "Are you mad? You want to use pity chope my food? You fit afford the firewood? The magi? A beg shift." Before Zara could step back, the woman shoved her, hard. Her knees buckled. She fell, hitting the dirt road. Her elbows scraped against a stone. Her head thudded lightly on the pavement. For a moment, the world blurred. Then, they laughed. Oh, they laughed. A group of teenagers near the phone repair stall pointed. "She done faint, drama queen. Maybe not ritual she did duo. Oh, you want enter BBN Naija?" Laughter roared. Zara lay still, not because she was injured, but because she was done. Not with life, but with pretending. She had once been applauded for walking into ballrooms. Now she was ridiculed for falling in a street. How fragile worth really was. She tried to get up. Her arms shook. And then, suddenly, a hand. Rough, calloused, sun-darkened. She blinked through heat and tears. A man in a faded blue t-shirt and dusty trousers knelt beside her. He smelled of salt, metal, and effort. His hair was sweat-matted, and a wheelbarrow leaned behind him against the wall. "Hey," he said gently, "are you all right?" His voice was kind.
Not pitying, not curious, just kind. Zara couldn't speak. Her throat burned, but she nodded, barely. He helped her sit, took off his own shirt, and used it to wipe the dust off her back. "Don't mind them," he said. "Lagos can be wicked, especially if it thinks you're weak." She looked at him, confused. Why was he helping? He reached into his pocket, pulled out a crumpled 100 naira note. Then he looked at the plate of rice he'd bought for himself, warm, steaming, still untouched. He hesitated, and then, without a word, he gave it to her. "Eat," he said. "You need it more than I do." Her hands trembled as she took the plate. "Why?" she asked, voice cracking. "Why would you help me?" He smiled, a quiet, tired smile. "Because someone should." And in that moment, that tiny, fragile moment, Zara Mbatha, once the most worshipped woman in African tech, felt truly seen. Not for her wealth, not for her looks, not even for her pain, but simply as a person. And that was the first time in her life it had ever happened. They sat side by side on a cracked concrete ledge, sharing the meal like it was sacred. Zara didn't even care about the dust or the flies. She didn't ask his name. He didn't ask hers. But in the chaos of Makoko Market, surrounded by noise, heat, and mockery, something gentle had begun. And she didn't even know yet that this stranger with a wheelbarrow would soon carry her heart.
He had nothing, and yet he gave everything that mattered. The sun had begun its slow descent over Makoko, turning rooftops gold and shadows long. Zara sat beside the stranger on the cracked concrete ledge, cradling the plate of rice he'd given her like it was treasure. Her fingers were dusty, her nails chipped, her clothes still carrying the heat of the street. But in that moment, none of it mattered, because for the first time since she'd arrived here, someone had looked at her, truly looked, and not flinched. He hadn't asked her name. He hadn't stared in confusion or suspicion. He hadn't tried to take something in return. He just gave. The man sat quietly beside her, sipping from a small sachet of water. His shirt, now wrapped around his waist, revealed a torso lean from labor. His fingers bore the calluses of someone who worked not for dreams, but for survival. After a while, he turned to her with a small smile. "You eat like someone who hasn't eaten in 2 days." Zara looked up, her eyes wide. He wasn't wrong. "Maybe I haven't. Or maybe I just forgot how good real food tastes." He chuckled, a sound deep and unhurried. "This one? Real food? You're being too kind. My sister calls it poverty jollof." Zara gave a weak laugh and was surprised by it. It had been so long since her body remembered how to laugh without effort. "Still," she said, "it's the best thing I've eaten in a very long time." They fell silent again. The market moved around them, children yelling, men arguing over change, a preacher shouting into a megaphone about salvation. But in the small bubble they had created, the noise faded. "I'm Kofi," the man said eventually, extending a hand, rough and dusty. Zara hesitated, then placed her smaller, cleaner hand into his. "Amara," she said. The name came to her without thought, the first lie in days that didn't feel like one. She wasn't ready to be Zara Mbatha again. Not here. Not with him. "Amara," Kofi repeated. "Nice name. You look like an Amara, strong but quiet." Zara tilted her head. "Is that a compliment or an insult?" "Both," he said, grinning. "Depends on the day." They sat until the shadows deepened. He asked no questions, and she gave no answers. But when she stood to leave, legs still wobbly, he walked her halfway down the street without needing to. "Where do you sleep?" he asked casually as they passed rows of metal kiosks and plastic stalls. Zara pointed vaguely. "Behind one of those shops. It's quiet there, mostly." He nodded. "It's not safe," he said. "Too many boys out late. If anyone gives you trouble, shout loud.
People here ignore most things, but noise they'll notice. She tucked that advice into the corner of her mind like a folded napkin. "Thank you, Kofi." He waved her off. "You can thank me later, maybe with half a sachet of water next time." And then he disappeared into the crowd, pushing his rusty wheelbarrow through the market maze like just another ghost of the city. That night, Zara couldn't sleep, not just because the concrete was hard or because mosquitoes danced at her ears or because a nearby radio played until 2 a.m., but because her heart wouldn't stop racing. She kept replaying the moment he handed her that plate, the hesitation, the kindness, the decision to go without so that she wouldn't. No one had done that for her, not even during her childhood, certainly not during her rise to stardom. People had applauded her speeches, had thrown money at her companies, had courted her beauty, her mind, her fame. But Kofi? He gave with no angle, no flirtation, no calculation, no "remember me when you make it." Just care. And it unsettled her, more than cruelty ever had. The next morning she waited at the same spot, 10:15 a.m., then 10:40 a.m., then 11 a.m. She was about to leave when she saw the familiar blue shirt, still wrinkled, approaching through the crowd. His wheelbarrow creaked, its metal frame worn from years of labor. In one hand, a black nylon bag. In the other, a bottle of water. He spotted her, smiled. "You again. I said I'd thank you, didn't I? You said maybe." Well, maybe came sooner than expected. He sat beside her, pulling out the nylon bag and revealing beans and fried plantain wrapped in brown paper. "I figured you might be tired of rice." Zara laughed. "I'm not picky." They ate slowly, sharing the food between bites of conversation and silence. She learned that Kofi worked from dawn to dusk moving goods for vendors who didn't own trucks. He earned just enough to feed himself and someone else. "Someone else?" she asked. He nodded. "My daughter, Amara. She's 7, lives with me in Ajagunli. Her mother isn't in the picture." She didn't press, but a twinge hit her chest. He had a child. He was a father, and yet he'd given his food to a stranger without hesitation. For the next few days, they fell into a quiet rhythm. Zara waited at their bench. Kofi arrived around lunch. They shared whatever meal he could afford, yam and pepper sauce, corn and coconut, even the occasional pastry when he'd had a good day. He never asked where she came from. She never explained why she never begged or how her English was too crisp for the street. It didn't matter. What mattered was that in a place where everything felt like survival, he had created a pocket of safety, a friendship, a warmth, something like hope. And deep inside, Zara felt a shift, a crack forming in the walls she'd built her whole life. She didn't know it yet, but she wasn't just surviving Makoko anymore. She was beginning to belong.
She had dined with presidents, but this was the first time anyone saved her a seat. Makoko didn't slow down for anyone. The market remained relentless, a pulsating artery of heat, barter, and survival. And yet for 1 hour each day, just before the noon sun turned cruel, it felt like the world paused, right there, on a wooden bench outside a food kiosk with peeling paint and a crooked umbrella. That bench belonged to Kofi and Amara now. At least, that's what the neighborhood had begun to whisper. Zara, still hiding under the name Amara, returned each day. Same time, same spot, same tattered scarf and secondhand shoes. She said little, but her eyes had changed. Where there had been fear, now there was familiarity. Where there had been hunger, now there was rhythm. Kofi never missed a day, no matter how tired, how sunburned, how heavy his wheelbarrow, he came. And in his hands, always something to share. A meal, a bottle of water, sometimes even a joke. Today is moi moi. My daughter swears it cures sadness. Does it? Only if you close your eyes and pretend it's lasagna. They laughed. And for Zara, who had learned to laugh with restraint, it felt different this time. It felt earned. They talked, slowly, about small things. How Kofi preferred the rainy season, how he hated politics, how he'd once tried to be a drummer before reality set in. About how Lagos was beautiful from a distance, but brutal up close. Zara shared little, but enough. That she liked her food spicy, that she used to write poetry, that she missed quiet. He never asked why she was in Makoko. He never tried to prove her story. And that was the part that made her trust him most. He saw her, but never tried to own her. One afternoon, she brought a piece of roasted corn, something she'd bought with the last of her saved naira. "My turn," she said, placing it in front of him. "I figured you might be tired of always being the provider." Kofi blinked. "You didn't have to." "Neither did you," she cut in softly. He smiled. They broke the corn in half, and in that simple act, Zara felt something she hadn't in years: equality. Later that week, as they sat together, watching vendors fold up their stalls, Kofi pulled out a small plastic bag and handed it to her. Inside, a single orange, perfectly round, cool from being wrapped in wet cloth. "Vitamin C. I have heard you coughing." Zara looked at him. "You watch me?" "Enough to know you don't watch yourself." She didn't respond, but her throat tightened. Because no one had watched her in years. Not like this. Not with care. That night, she couldn't sleep. Not because of the cold floor or distant shouting, but because she missed their bench. She missed him. His calm, his silence that didn't demand, his kindness that didn't expect. And in the darkness, under the stars peeking through zinc rooftops, she whispered something terrifying even to herself. "I think I'm falling, and he doesn't even know who I am." The next day, Kofi surprised her. "I want you to meet someone," he said after lunch. "Who?" "The reason I keep showing up." She followed him. They weaved through back streets, past broken walls, makeshift shacks, puddles that never dried. Eventually, they arrived at a gate barely holding on to its hinges. "Home," he said. Inside, one room, 2 plastic chairs, 1 torn mattress. And in the center, a little girl with bright eyes and tighter curls than Zara's scarf could hide. "Amara," Kofi said. "This is Amira, my friend." The girl ran up, arms open. "Are you my new mommy?" Zara froze. Kofi chuckled nervously. "Not yet, little one." "But you bring her food. You make her smile." Zara crouched and took Amara's hands. "I'm your friend, for as long as you'll have me." Amara grinned. "Forever?" Zara nodded. "Forever sounds perfect." That evening, they sat on the floor eating rice and stew. Amara curled beside Zara, holding her hand. Kofi watched them both, his quiet life suddenly bursting with warmth. And for the first time in 3 years, he didn't feel like a single parent. Outside, Makoko kept moving. But inside that zinc-walled home, something sacred had begun to grow. Not fast, not flashy, but real. And real, as both Zara and Kofi were learning, was more powerful than anything money could buy.
She didn't leave because he failed.
She left because she couldn't love through struggle. The sky over Makoko had turned a dusky gold, the last light of the day glinting off puddles and corrugated rooftops. Inside the one-room shelter that Kofi called home, the air smelled faintly of stew, dust, and a lifetime of survival. Zara, still known to them as Amara, sat cross-legged on the floor beside Amara, helping the little girl braid her doll's yarn hair. The girl giggled at her clumsy fingers, playfully correcting her like a teacher schooling a well-meaning student. Kofi watched them from the door, arms crossed over his chest, his expression unreadable. Something in him had shifted. He'd always been cautious, the kind of man who gave but rarely revealed. But that night, something inside said, "It's time." After Amara drifted off to sleep, wrapped in a thin blanket and the arms of a one-eyed teddy bear, Kofi gestured for Zara to follow him outside. They stepped into the narrow alley beside the house. The city was quieter now, the kind of quiet that only came when people gave up yelling for the day. Zara leaned against the wall. Kofi sat on an overturned bucket, elbows on his knees. For a long while, neither said a word. Then, in a low voice, he began, "I met Fola when I was 20. She was the loudest girl in our university, and I was the quietest guy in the engineering department. It shouldn't have worked, but it did." Zara didn't speak. She let him unravel at his pace. "She made me feel like I could do anything. We had Amara just after I got a job with an oil company. Entry level, but the money was good. I bought her a car when Amara was born. Took her to Ghana for our anniversary, started sending money to build a house for her parents in Osogbo." He smiled, a soft, distant smile like someone watching an old home video playing in his mind. Life was solid. Not flashy, not rich, but solid. We had plans, a routine, love. Then his voice shifted, dropped a note. Then the layoffs came. 75 of us, gone in 1 week. Our department shut down. Just like that. No warning, no thank you, no severance. Just a letter. He pulled a folded piece of paper from his pocket. Zara recognized the type. Corporate. Soulless. A single line of cold ink that had dismantled a man's life. "I came home that day, still smiling, told Fola we'd be okay, that I'd sell the car, start a small transport business. I thought she'd hold my hand, say, 'We'll survive this together.'" He shook his head. "Instead, she looked at me like a stranger. Said she didn't marry a man who couldn't provide. Said she wasn't born to suffer. That night, she packed her things. Took the car, took her jewelry, left Amara, left us." Zara covered her mouth, heart twisting. "She blocked me. Told her family I was abusive. They believed her. My friends vanished. No one wanted to hang around a broke man with a baby and no future." I had chuckled, dry and sharp. "I used to carry files in briefcases. Now I carry onions in a wheelbarrow." Silence fell again. Zara reached out and gently touched his hand. He didn't flinch. "Why are you telling me this?" she asked softly. "Because you don't look at me like I'm broken, and that scares me." Zara's throat tightened. "You're not broken. You're surviving. There's a difference." He turned to her then, eyes soft,
heavy. I haven't trusted a woman since. I've raised Amara the best I could, but my heart's been closed. Until now. Zara felt her pulse race. Because of me? He nodded. But then he added, and that's what worries me. I don't even know who you are. You just appeared. No past, no family, no one in the market seems to know you. But you're kind, and my daughter loves you. And that's why I'm scared. Zara looked down. Tears burned behind her eyes. She wanted so badly to tell him who she really was, where she came from, what she owned, what she'd left behind. But fear gripped her, fear that he would pull away, that he would see her as part of the world that had already betrayed him once. So instead, she whispered, "Do you ever feel like the world only sees a version of you, not the real one?" He exhaled slowly. All the time. Their eyes met, and in that silence, something unspoken passed between them. Recognition, respect, something beginning to bloom. Inside, Amara stirred. Zara moved to check on her, tucking the blanket closer. Kofi stayed outside, watching the stars flicker beyond the haze of generator smoke. He didn't know what to call this feeling, but it was peaceful. And for a man who knew years of noise, peace was more seductive than passion. Back on the mattress, Amara murmured in her sleep, "Mommy Amira, are you still here?" Zara held her breath, then replied almost inaudibly, "Yes, baby, I'm right here." And for the first time in years, in a house with no chairs, no fan, no money, she felt like she was exactly where she belonged.
She wanted honesty, but she feared the cost. The day had worn itself thin, and as the evening sun softened the harsh edges of Makoko Market, Zara felt a growing urgency in her chest. Their routine moment on the bench, the one she'd come to depend on, now trembled under the weight of her thoughts. They'd sat there quietly as usual today, Kofi cleaning his wheelbarrow, and Zara half listening to the hum of vendors while her pulse kept time with regret. She'd wanted to talk, to say, "I'm not who you think I am. I'm not Amira." But the words didn't come. She stayed silent, folding inwards. That night, she washed a single plate with water from a battered basin. Outside, generator hums and radios chased away the calm. Inside, her reflection dripped back at her, dusty, tired, with eyes haunted by secrets. She knelt beside Amara, brushing her little girl's hair. "Thank you for playing today," she said softly. Amara yawned, sleepy. "You're kind," she mumbled. Zara sighed, her voice cracking. "I'm trying to be," she replied, though to herself, trying not to think about that piece of paper at home, the one she left behind, the one with her real name printed in bold. Sleep came fitfully. She dreamed of mirrored glass walls, of headlines blasting her face. Billionaire in disguise. Then she dreamt of the cracked dashboard and Kofi's wheelbarrow and his rough hands offering her food with no expectations. She awoke to the sound of Amara calling her name. "Mommy! Amira!" Zara lay still, frozen, unsure. Mommy? She wasn't a mother, and Amira wasn't her name. Not really. Yet in the darkness, the tiny voice echoed in her heart. Breakfast came quietly, shared from a meager pot of cornmeal porridge. Kofi watched her stir it slowly. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice gentle against the crackle of the stove. Zara froze. "No, I'm just tired." She pushed the cup toward him. He took it without a word and drank. The silence settled between them like thick cloth. At their bench later that morning, Zara's heart pounded as though waiting to be let loose. Kofi was there before her, humming a rhythm only he knew. She sat a careful distance away. "I want to tell you something," she started, voice low. His eyes, patient and calm, encouraged her to continue. "I'm not exactly who you think I am. I'm not Amara." She swallowed, heart cramping. "I'm not Amara." The shock flashed across Kofi's face. Not anger, not disbelief, just surprise. "Then, who?" he asked, gently. Her pulse thundered in her ears. Why was it so hard to tell the truth? She imagined, option 1, she tells him right now. He's hurt but eventually understands. He forgives her. Option 2, she lies again. They continue their routine. She protects the fragile peace. She closed her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I wanted truth, but I'm afraid I'll ruin this. Afraid that if you know who I am, you won't trust me anymore." Kofi said quietly for a moment, then softly, "Amara or Zara, I already trusted you. Let's just sit together until you're ready." He didn't push, he didn't walk away, and for the first time since she arrived in this world without her name, she felt the ground shift beneath her feet, not collapsing, but anchoring. Later, Zara followed Kofi through narrow alleys to his home. Inside, Amara laughed as she drew on scraps of cardboard with colored chalk. Zara knelt beside her. "I'm sorry," she said to the child softly. "I didn't mean to confuse you." Amara looked up, eyes bright. "You're my friend. That's enough." Zara's throat tight as knots, because that simple, perfect sentence said something she needed to hear more than anything. That night, Zara lay on their shared mattress. Amara's breathing ebbed and flowed beside her, soft and sure. Kofi was across the room repairing a rusted kettle. She so badly wanted to speak. Tomorrow, she thought, I will tell him everything. And in the warm darkness, she closed her eyes with one quiet plea to the universe. Help me not lose this. Help me say it right, or not at all.
Truth finds its way, even when you're not ready for it. It happened one morning, unplanned. Zara, still hiding under the name Amara, had arrived at their usual bench earlier than usual. The market was bustling, vendors calling out prices, children darting through the crowd, radios playing hawked ads. But Zara's mind was elsewhere. She spotted an old-fashioned photo kiosk facing a battered corrugated wall. A torn poster fluttered in the breeze, an old Forbes Africa Women and Tech issue taped to the plywood backdrop. A pristine image of a confident young woman in a tailored white suit stared back. She knew that face all too well. Zara Mbatha, the caption read. Her heart slammed. It was her real identity, her world. Kofi arrived shortly after, pushing his wheelbarrow like clockwork. He set down his load and approached the bench. His smile faltered. Following his gaze, he saw the poster. "Is that you?" he asked, voice flat. Zara looked away, panic rising like bile. She stood abruptly, letting the duffel drop from her shoulder with a thud. "It's nothing," she tried to sound casual. But Kofi didn't move.
He picked up the photo. Eyes wide, mind racing, the truth was no longer a whisper in the shadows. Zara took a shaky step backward. But he didn't let her speak. Holding the print between them, he said softly, "You lied." Her breath caught. "Amira isn't real." The first tear finally slipped. "Why? You trusted me." Her lips trembled. "I love you, but I was afraid. Afraid you would leave me if you knew who I really was." Kofi lowered the picture. Silence descended, loud and suffocating. That evening, Zara found herself in the empty alley behind his home. The world felt colorless. It was as if the sun didn't shine anymore, and the air tasted cold. She could hear his chair scraping softly from inside the zinc walls. Every memory ran through her mind. The meals, the laughter, the hesitations that turned into trust, built upon a lie. She wiped her eyes, remembering her greeting to Amara. "Forever sounds perfect." Had she broken it? Inside, Kofi sat on the floor, legs crossed, facing Zara. She took a deep breath. "I'm sorry." His expression remained distant. "You weren't honest. I know. But you stayed." The quiet cracked. Hope peeked behind hurt. "You could have left," he said, "but you didn't." Her voice cracked. "Because I love you. Because I love her." "Kofi," she whispered. Pain laced her words. "Amira isn't just your daughter to me. She means more every day." He looked at her, hard and soft, and then a flicker of understanding entered his eyes. "I don't care about who you are, but I do care that you were honest with me." 12 silent seconds passed. "Will you forgive me?" she asked, voice barely audible. He exhaled slowly, nodding. Slowly he reached out. "I'm still trying to figure it out, but I want to." Later that night, Zara heard Amara whispering in her sleep. "Mommy Amira, will you stay?" Zara held her close and whispered, "Yes, I promise. This time, I'll stay."
She returned not as a queen seeking applause, but as a woman seeking forgiveness. Makoko Market pulsed with life and gossip when Zara decided to return. The day she walked into that market again, the crowd froze in confusion. Was it the same dusty, silent girl they'd ignored? Or was it the glamorous billionaire who had suddenly vanished and now reappeared? Zara stepped out of a convoy of black SUVs, an unmistakable symbol of wealth. Her hair was natural, skin bare, a simple red dress billowing softly around her. Cameras flashed as she stepped out, but her eyes were locked only on one thing: the path to Kofi and Amara. As she walked toward the familiar wooden bench, vendors recoiled, whispers rippled, children peeked, and women turned their heads. At Mama Saad's kiosk, Zara paused. The woman who had once pushed her away looked up, eyes sharp with disbelief. Zara reached out, handing her an envelope thick enough to change her life. "Mama Saade," she began softly, voice steady. "Some days ago, I came here disguised. I wanted to see if kindness still had value. You pushed me away. I regret that I didn't feel it then." Tears pooled in Mama Saade's eyes as she unfolded a check inside the envelope, enough to build a proper, dignified kiosk. Next, Zara moved to the pawpaw vendor who had turned her down. Wordlessly, she handed her a check, enough to renovate her stall and support her family. Other vendors watched, opening their hearts. Some cried.
A few scoffed, skeptical, but most were moved. Then, in the center of the market, the crowd parted to reveal Kofi, standing tall beside his wheelbarrow with Amara by his side. Zara's chest tightened. She walked slowly, each step heavy with purpose. "Kofi," she said, voice trembling but clear. "I'm sorry for lying, for hiding who I am, for making you question every moment we shared." Kofi stared, pain and wonder mingled in his eyes. "Thank you," he said quietly, "for coming back." Their daughter tugged Zara's hand. She said, "Mommy Amira." That was all Zara needed. Opening night at Makoko didn't end in spectacle. No cameras followed her home that night. But her presence changed something. Justice, empathy, and hope. For a mugger, for a vendor, for a billionaire who didn't belong here, but had found, in the end, a place to stay.
Two worlds collided, and a new one was born. The plane touched down on Zanzibar's soft runway just after dawn. A rosy light spilled onto the crowded terminal, where vendors offered carved souvenirs and fresh spices. Zara, Kofi, and Amara stepped into the embrace of something new, a promise of peace, belonging, and soft beginnings. Kofi cradled Amara's hand and glanced over at Zara, who stood quietly by the luggage carousel, eyes glistening. He could still see the scar of their breach in her gaze, but it had healed enough, because here, now, they stood together, not in hiding, but in hope. Their resort was not opulent. It was perfect. Nestled on a private stretch of white sand with palm fronds brushing turquoise water, the Tulia Zanzibar unique beach resort whispered romance. This sanctuary, known for its seclusion and elegance, had been chosen for one reason: to let their love breathe. Inside their villa, a bungalow raised over rustling dunes, Amara giggled in delight. The sand felt like sugar underfoot. Zara watched her with something like reverence. No cameras, no agenda, just the three of them, woven together by choice. That night, lanterns bobbed in the darkness behind sheer curtains. They ate fresh local fish while the waves crashed softly and a full moon rose to witness it all. Zara looked at Kofi, tears and tenderness shining in his eyes. "We're really here," she whispered. He nodded, voice low and steady. "Yes, and this is just the beginning." Over the next days, they explored the island, not as rich or poor, marital stranger or secret lover, but simply as a family discovering wonder. They slipped into a traditional dhow at sunset, its wooden hull cradling them across lilac sea. A soft tarab melody played as they watched flaming sky burn into night. They picnicked among cinnamon and vanilla in a spice farm, breathing in the heartbeat of Zanzibar's soul. They dove off Page's shore, turquoise reef embracing them in vibrant life. Amara squealed as a school of fish weaved around her. They walked hand in hand through Stone Town's labyrinthine alleys where carved wooden doors told stories older than empires. They paused before the Anglican church at Christ, its coral stone walls casting quiet shade, its history emollient as old love. Each moment was a stitch in the fabric of their new life, simple, real, rooted. One evening, on a sandbank that appeared just at low tide, they shared a picnic lit by lanterns. The water around them glowed lavender in moonlight. Zara looked at Kofi across splintered driftwood table, and Amara's eyelids fluttered string lights into the sky. "I never imagined that you'd end up here," Kofi said, cutting a slice of fruit. "Neither did I." Zara laughed softly. "I was a woman who had everything, until I had nothing. And now, here with you, this is everything I ever wanted." He nodded, words unnecessary. On their final night,
Kofi surprised Zara in front of crashing waves. He brought a small silver box, placed candles at their feet, and knelt in the glow of fireflies. "Zara, I promised you something real. Not perfect, but real. If you'll have me, not because of wealth or glory, but because you choose me, then let's build this life together." Zara's heart thundered. She nodded, voice catching. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Amara squealed, jumping into Zara's arms, and on a moonlit beach in Zanzibar, they were no longer worlds apart. They were home.
In the end, love was the only bridge strong enough to span two worlds. Zara, Kofi, and little Amara stand on a soft stretch of beach in Zanzibar. The early morning sun paints the sky in pastel golds and pale pinks, matching the gentle rhythm of the waves. The air carries salt, hope, and a promise whispered between hearts. They, once divided by wealth, fear, identity, now stand together, hand in hand, as family. Reunited in truth. Zara gazes at the horizon, letting the sea spray wash away old regrets. Beside her, Kofi holds her hand with quiet strength. His touch grounds her in a reality she's only now allowed to fully inhabit, one of truth, balance, and mutual vulnerability. Amara runs between them, her laughter a bell that fills the sand with golden echoes. "Mommy, look!" she shouts, holding a stray seashell. Zara leans down, brushing the girl's curls, and then touches the shell. Simple, perfect, real. Symbols of a new beginning. They rent a traditional dhow and drift into the glowing water. The sail flutters like hope brought to life. Zara rests her head on Kofi's shoulder. The wind shakes out the last of her fear. He squeezes her hand, and their shields fall away completely. For Amara, the sea moves between laughter and light discovery, schooling fish, then sand, then her own reflection in her mother's tears. A promise sealed. That evening, beneath lantern-lit palms, Kofi takes Zara's hand and leads her to shore. In his eyes, she sees what she's fought for, not pity, not awe, not salvation, but quiet, fierce trust. He kneels in the sand, wind gently tousling his sleeves. "Zara or Amira, rich or hidden, I choose you for all that you are. Will you walk beside me, for Amara, for us, for the life we've begun?" Tears fill her eyes, but she's steady. She nods, voice soft. Yes, to love without disguise. Amara squeals and runs into their embrace, sand flying. Epilogue. The road ahead. The video closes as they leave the beach, feet in the surf, hearts full. Text overlays read, "True love sees value where money cannot. It builds home where identity dares not tread." Then fades out with, "Zara, Kofi, and Amara, may your home always be built on truth."